Welcome everyone to the third ever English podcast episode of our podcast, See That You Go Abroad. My name is Andre, and today my guest is Martina. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
Did you know when you were ending your high school education that you're gonna apply for Faculty of Tropical Agri-Sciences, because it even sounds international, right? In the middle of Europe,
Yes.
studying tropical agri-sciences, that sounds like, okay, I'm gonna go abroad, definitely.
Yes, absolutely. It was one of the main reasons why I got into this faculty. Actually, I found it by, I was just looking through some papers about universities and I found this faculty and I was like, okay, it's tropical agri-sciences, let's try it, because I like tropical countries and I wanted to travel to them and get to know other places. So it was almost a first choice.
Okay, well, and then when you came in here, what was the first destination you were thinking about?
So my first destination was Brazil.
Brazil?
Yes.
So the first ever destination you were thinking about after going to university was Brazil.
Yes, it was because I got to know the country before coming to the university, I was very curious about exploring some institutes there and get an internship. So it was what I got. So it was very interesting.
That's strange because students usually think about, I don't know, France or Spain. You never had this?
Yes, well,
thought?
I had these thoughts as well, but I must say that for us as people from Europe, it's quite easy to travel to the foreign countries in Europe. It's quite quick as well. But thanks to the scholarship that we received from school or from Erasmus as well, we can travel further. And it's a big help, because otherwise to just go and travel over the ocean with just little money, it's not possible.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so what were you doing in Brazil? Was it a traineeship?
Yes, sort of. It was like a traineeship for the diseases and parasites of citrus trees, bananas and coconuts. And it was actually the base of my bachelor thesis.
Okay, so the citruses and everything, you worked on that in Brazil, and then it became your the topic of your bachelor thesis, or was it the other way around?
It was a little bit the other way around. I got the internship first and I had a great supervisor who really pushed me to go and try it. So I did it, and she was doing this research on fruits. So she said that it would be very good if I went and I got to know the actual plantation on the spot, and then I could write the literature review. So,
Well, we heard that you knew Brazil before, but regarding the going abroad during studies, was Brazil like the beginning of everything? Was it the beginning of your, let's say, desire to keep on going abroad?
yes, absolutely it was, because once I was there, I discovered all the possibilities of traveling abroad, and so it was very good for me. And since then, I was always searching where else could I go.
Did you go somewhere else during your bachelor studies?
Yes, I did go to Rwanda as well, but it was not for a traineeship. It was because I made very good friends from Rwanda who were studying here at the Faculty of Tropical Agri-Sciences, and they were going home after a few years of living here, so they invited me to come along. And so, of course, I said yes, so I get a chance to visit first country in Africa.
So that's first Brazil and then Rwanda.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, the following stays of yours are connected mostly with Aruba Island.
Yes, absolutely.
Where did you get this idea from? Why Aruba?
Well, I knew about the islands before, because many people don't know where Aruba is, and that Netherlands have some islands in the Caribbean Sea, but I knew about them and I was always thinking I would like to visit them. And around 3 or 4 years ago, there was an exchange student from the University of Aruba. So we were talking and he was like, yeah, if you ever decide to come to Aruba, just let me know, I can help you with some things. And then when I actually prolonged my bachelor studies for 1 year, I did it for the possibility of traveling and go for an internship. So I was like, okay, let me try and go to Aruba now.
Okay,
so that was...
so how many times have you been there?
I was there 3 times.
Wow. Okay, so we got a first stay. That was for how long?
That was for 5 months. I was first supposed to go to different islands also that are part of the European Union, French islands, but in the end it didn't work out. So I stayed for 5 months on Aruba.
Okay, where did you stay in there? Where did you live? I mean,
Okay, so I lived in sort of like a private accommodation because there are very good possibilities from the local people who are renting their apartments. They have small apartments, and the prices are usually the half of what normally tourists have to pay, or from normally what you find on the internet, and especially in English because they know that you're a tourist if you're looking for it. So
yeah, sure.
it was like different small apartments. I was changing quite often as well.
What did you do in there? Did you keep on working on the topic of your bachelor thesis, or
No, actually, this time I changed for animals.
okay?
And I went there. There was supposed to be an internship that didn't really happen in the end. So I contacted a teacher back home, and she told me that I could try and look for ticks on livestock. So that's what I was trying to do. But unfortunately, we didn't find any ticks on no livestock on the island.
How many livestock did you search?
Well, we did search around 7 farms, and there was like a lot of around 50 animals on each of them. We didn't check all of them, but many of them, and everyone just told me there are no ticks.
Okay, so you moved to ducks.
Yes, exactly.
Was it more successful?
Yes, by the end of the internship for 5 months, I moved to dogs for about like last 3 weeks.
All right.
And I found 20 samples.
Okay, and then you came back, and that was, I presume, at the end of your bachelor study level?
Exactly, yes. I did this internship, let's say, like before my master's, so that I could base my diploma thesis on that. But I came back and I defended the bachelor thesis about the citrus trees, and I did the state exam.
And then you came back to Aruba.
Yes.
During your master. Yeah.
Yes.
And did you keep on working on the same topic as before, or you tried something else?
No, actually, that time we discussed with my teacher, and I was supposed to collect the feces from animals, from sheep and goats, and see the parasites that they have, and give them like an antiparasitic to treat the coccidiosis.
And did it go on, or did it stop?
It actually did not really go too well, and in the end, another student took this whole.
The project.
The project, yes. So in the end, I stayed with the ticks.
All right. Wasn't it a victory? I'm just thinking, it's either collecting feces or collecting ticks.
Yes, absolutely. It was, at least in the part of the lab work, which was quite smelly. So
yeah.
It was a victory.
Okay, so now we've got a ticks for the second time. Did this topic become important for you?
Yes, absolutely, because then I found my new supervisor, and we are now focusing on the pathogens that are transmitted from the ticks on dogs.
Okay, so that's the second stay in Aruba, and then you came back to Prague, or?
No, after that, actually, at the same time in September, there was a summer school in Mexico. And since I was on Aruba till the end of August, I decided I'm not going to fly over the ocean 2 times. So I just went straight from Aruba to Mexico.
Nice. There was summer school in Mexico. How was that?
It was full of experience, let's say. It was nice, but there were quite some problems with the organization. It was not always as we expected, but in the end it was really nice because we got to travel throughout Mexico, see very much different cities and a lot of things around Mexico. So it was nice.
But there had to be some motivation for you to choose Mexico.
Yes, actually, I've always wanted to go to Mexico.
Oh, right.
Especially since I was...
Here's the motivation.
Yes. Since I was in Brazil, I wanted to get to know all Latin America. But I never wanted to go alone to Mexico because I was quite afraid to go alone as a woman just on my own.
Yeah.
So when I discovered there is this possibility to go with a university around 20 people, I was like, that's the perfect opportunity.
When we are at the subject of being afraid of going somewhere alone, I think that all the destinations so far that we heard from you, I mean, Brazil, Rwanda, Mexico, they are all considered to be potentially dangerous. Yes. How did you feel about this? Were your parents scared, or were you scared, for example?
Well, yes, the very first time when I was going to Brazil and I told my friends and my family, everyone was like, oh my God, Martina, goodbye, you're never coming back. Oh, no. And I was like, no, I will come back, of course. And then, the first time I arrived in south of Brazil, and when I just stepped out of the plane and I was walking in the city, I was just like, because that was the south of Brazil and that looks pretty much like in Europe. So it's like, I just feel like I'm back home. I think it's just the same, you know, it's just a different country. It might be a bit dangerous, but in the end, everything is the same. Then in the north of Brazil, where I was for the internship, it was a little bit different. But still, it was quite fine. And even in Mexico, sometimes we were walking on the streets and, you know, sometimes it was not really comfortable. But yeah, in the end, you know, we always try to ask where we should go or shouldn't go.
Well, you survived. I can see you now. So.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and then from Mexico, what happened then?
Yes, so I left my things on Aruba. So I went back from Mexico to Aruba for 1 week. I actually lost my flight, so I stayed for 2 more days. School started, so I was late for school. But I came back to the Czech Republic and I started my first year master's.
And then you came to Aruba back again.
Exactly, yes. I was here for almost a year. And then when the COVID started, I was like thinking, shall I go, shouldn't I?
Oh.
And then in August, I decided that I will go. And because the COVID cases were very low on Aruba, so I decided, okay, I'm going to give it a try. And just when I arrived, the cases started to rise.
Okay, and you were focused on the same topic as before, so that means... Yes. Searching for ticks. On
ticks. This time it was fully focused on ticks from dogs. So I was going on the veterinary clinics and also some foundations that are taking care of street dogs and dog shelter. So I was collecting ticks from all of these places.
How many ticks do you have to, or did you have to collect actually?
Well, the minimum was something between 300 and 400 samples, but because I have more ticks in one sample, it looks I have around 1,000 or something.
So now you have 1,000 ticks. Wow.
Something around that, yeah.
So now you're working on that, I suppose, in a lab.
Yeah, I just started to with the isolation of the DNA. So
yeah, is it gonna take a long time? Because it's 1,000 ticks.
I think it will take some time, yes. They are telling me that some other people who are already more able to do these things more quickly, so they took maybe like two weeks for just, 200 ticks, but I think for me it will take much longer. Yeah.
You said that in the third stay, you were also staying in the Dogs Rescue Center, whatever we can call it, like that?
Yes, it was part of where I was collecting the ticks. It was an animal shelter that is connected to the kill cage, so they're trying to save as many dogs as they can that people abandon in the kill cage, and they take them in the shelter. So many of them actually have ticks when they're newcomers.
Okay. How is it to work in this sort of environment? I mean, like, I would be always thinking like, oh, you're such a cute dog. It's a pity I can't take you with me. But then I would be thinking that about 10 dogs, and my apartment is not that big.
Yes. Actually, it was really hard because sometimes I was seeing really nice dogs and I was wondering how is it possible someone is abandoning them. And there were 2 dogs that I really liked, but one of them got adopted when I was still there. So I just said goodbye to it, but it was a very nice dog as well. And then there was another dog who was very quiet, very calm, always laying down in a corner, just even being around cats. So it was looking very cat friendly and in general, just a very calm dog. So I started to take these dogs for some walks. So
okay, so I can see where this is going. Once you start taking a dog for a walk, then there is no other way how this can end.
Yes, in the end, I brought the dog to the Czech Republic from Aruba.
Wow, that's cool. What's her name?
Her name is Mocha.
Mocha, so because of the color of mochaccino.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, okay. She's like dark brown, very nice color.
So now you're working on the master thesis.
Yes.
Of yours. When are you supposed to defend it?
So I will defend next year in June.
Next year in June. Yeah, it takes some time to, test all the
I think it's going to take a few months. Yeah, at least 1 or 2 months. Yes.
And do you have some other mobilities planned for your master?
So since I'm actually prolonging my studies because I'm in 2nd year master's now and I will only defend next year, so I will have 1 year which I would still like to take the opportunity to travel somewhere and do some traineeship or internship. And on Aruba, working on the veterinary clinic, I made a very good friend from Colombia who is a veterinarian, and so I would really love to go and visit her in Colombia while actually doing an internship and working with her at her clinic. So
that sounds
very
cool.
Nice.
We heard your destinations, which are exotic. There's no other way how to say that.
Yes.
I wonder, have you ever been to the typical Czech destinations, by which I mean Croatia, Slovakia. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't actually. I haven't. I always was going very far away, and what is right here, I never got a chance to visit. But maybe one day, maybe when I'm old and I cannot move that.
I was
far.
about to ask you, like,
Yes.
are you saving it for
Yes,
later?
for later on. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What are your plans after finishing your studies?
So I do not have it very clear as yet, but maybe I will continue doing some other studies, or maybe I will start working, which is the more possible version. I would really like to work in some NGO and just, be in the field of helping people and something like that, maybe like people in need or something like that.
Well, we heard your experience from various very exotic places. So I suppose you would recommend the students to take the chance and go abroad. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Not every time the students are well informed. So I think it's very important that you actually look on your own, you look for the possibilities, and for the traineeships you can literally find any institution where you can go. So it's very easy. As soon as you just find something and you write to them, they accept you, you've already won basically. And it's very interesting also to look at what countries make part of the European Union. So you can go to Erasmus. There are a lot of French islands in the Caribbean as well. Or
That's true.
Or the
There's
island
also Reunion, very
yes.
close to Africa, where you can
Exactly.
go using Erasmus. We always ask our students, what did it give you? How did it change you? Did it change you somehow, or you're still the same person that you were before you went to Brazil?
Well, I don't think so. Definitely not, because I've been through a lot of different experiences. Some were very positive, some were also a bit negative. But I definitely have to say that I think I'm a more tolerant person. I try to always see things from different points of view. And sometimes even it becomes a bit difficult to make a certain decision, because I know so many different point of view from different cultures that I sometimes don't even know what's right anymore.
There is a famous Czech traveler, Dan Přibaň, who travels with a Trabant car. And he always says that the world belongs to those who do not shit themselves. So
Yes.
are you the sort of person who is not going to shit herself when there is something really difficult coming? Difficult situation?
Yes, when it's about traveling, I think I can handle it pretty much. Yeah, a lot of things. I'm quite spontaneous, so whatever just comes, I'll try to handle it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your unbelievable experience. It was a pleasure to have you in here.
Thank you for the possibility. It was very nice to share, and I hope it can help some other people in order to go for internships and not be afraid, and just, search for it, go for it and enjoy, because it will definitely give you a lot.
Yeah. You have a unique opportunity definitely now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much and take care. Thank you all the others for listening, as we will be back with the next English episode. Actually, we don't know when, because it's sometimes a little bit tricky to find a student who would come in here and talk in English. So hopefully hear you soon. Take care.